Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you guys see me? Right there? I am. Once there was a married couple who were expecting their second child together. They already had a daughter that they absolutely adored and were thrilled the day they learned from the doctor that they would be having a son this time around. They figured that the second child would be similar to the first. They actually thought that maybe this one would be easier. The wife was a very high-strung and easily stressed-out woman. Many people thought that the wife was crazy and a glutton for punishment, and she was at home with a 1.5-year-old daughter and was a full-time college student pursuing a BS degree. In fact, the wife was scheduled to complete her senior thesis class at the time of her due date. Compounding her stressful nature was the medical opinion of her doctor that with 100% certainty, this baby would be premature since her first baby came out 1 month premature. The husband was the opposite of his wife. He was very excited to be having a son and did not stress easily. In fact, the day that the husband and wife found out that they were having a boy, the husband ran out into the waiting room of the doctor's office and said to the complete stranger sitting there, "It's a boy! We're having a boy!" The pregnancy was off to a bit of a rocky start. The day of the 12th week's doctor visit, the husband and wife were scheduled to hear the heartbeat of their baby boy for the first time. The husband and wife put their daughter and the mother of the wife in the truck and headed to the doctor's office. About 5 minutes from home, the truck was struck by another car from the front left side. Unfortunately, the wife was sitting in the middle of the back seat and was jolted sideways and backwards. She felt a snap in her neck and lower back. Luckily, their daughter had a very good car seat, and the mother of the wife also escaped injury. The husband was slightly injured, but nothing too severe. Because of the accident, the wife spent the next 2 months going to the chiropractor to fix her dislocated collarbone, lower spine, and shifted pelvis. Several weeks went by that were uneventful. Around the 6th month, the wife started to experience steady contractions. This would go on for hours. The wife would call her husband at work. "I don't mean to alarm you, but I've been having steady contractions for several hours now, and they're 6 minutes apart. You better come home." By the time the husband had rushed to be at his wife's side, the contractions had stopped. "Oops, my bad," said the wife. "Yeah," said the husband. This went on for weeks and weeks and weeks. The contractions would mostly come late at night. The wife would repeatedly wake up her husband so that he would be informed of the contractions, and night after night, each time the contractions would mysteriously stop after a few hours. Day after day, the husband would come home stammering through the door from his lack of sleep, and after weeks and weeks, the husband would say, "If you're going to go into labor tonight, do you think that you could either make it early evening or possibly during the day so that I can get some sleep?" Of course, that would always be followed by the wife smacking her husband across the head. The hospital bag sat ready and by the door for months. Contractions were being logged on an erasable board and kept track with a stopwatch. Still, the contractions that seemed to be leading to actual labor would cease after a couple of hours. Trying to focus on the positives of the pregnancy, the husband and wife decided to select a name for their baby. They already knew that the middle name would be Tamaki after the wife's father, but needed to select a first name. The couple already had a baby name book of 50,000 names from when they had their first baby. The wife had gone through the entire book 3 times, each time making a list of names that she liked, and each time the husband rejected every single name within the book. Frustrated and unable to agree on a name, the husband and wife went to the bookstore to buy a book of 100,000 names. Yep, they still could not agree on a name. One day, as the wife watched a children's DVD with her mother saw the name Bradley during the opening credits. Said the wife's mother. "Bradley's a nice name for a boy." "Yes," answered the wife. As soon as the husband came home, the wife said, "Let's name him Bradley." The husband said, "Yeah, Brad's a cool name. I mean, everybody loves Brad Pitt." "No, I didn't say Brad. I said Bradley," said the wife. "Then no, I like Brad," said the husband. "After 100,000 names, we need to compromise. How about we choose the legal name of Bradley, but he can go by Brad if he wants to," replied the wife. And with that, the search for a name was over. Ironically, the husband would later nickname the son that he wanted to refer to as Brad as
Brother.
Though the early pregnancy was a bit rough, the baby boy now named Bradley was tremendously strong. He moved at all hours of the day and had a definite response to the sound of his father's voice. The most active time for this baby was at night when the wife would try and sleep. Isn't that always how it happens? The husband had told his wife that everyone in his family had always been born on the 8th. His mother was born on the 18th. Even their first daughter was born on the 28th. The husband said, whatever happens, this baby is also going to have to be born on the 8th or else he will break a family tradition. But no pressure. Each month, the husband would say, okay, the baby's going to be born on the 8th. Then the 8th would come and go. Then he would say, I guess he's coming on the 18th. And then the 18th would come and go. It looks like he will be coming on the 28th. And this occurred every month for 3 months. The wife began to feel tremendous pressure. On August 18th, the wife noticed that her baby boy was not moving around in her belly as he had been doing before. She called her husband to tell him that the baby had not been moving around all morning. The husband called the wife later in the afternoon, and the wife said, he's still not moving and I don't feel right. Something is wrong. The husband rushed home to be with his wife. The sure sign that something would be wrong was if the baby did not respond to the sound of his father's voice. The husband talked into his wife's belly, but there was no movement. Something's wrong, said the wife. It's time to call the doctor. The husband and wife went to see the doctor. They hooked up the wife to a machine for 20 minutes. The doctor did not feel as though anything was seriously wrong, but sent the wife to the hospital to get a sound test done. The husband and wife went to the hospital to get the sound test. The nurse turned on the television and placed the speaker on the wife's belly, but nothing happened. After about 20 minutes, the nurse changed the station to Dr. Phil and then put the speaker on the wife's belly all the way up. Dr. Phil could be heard blasting into the wife's belly, which at that point caused the baby to give a very hard kick, as if he was trying to get out of there. It was the hardest kick the wife had ever experienced in this baby. Okay, said the nurse, he's moved, he's fine. As a precaution, the wife was hooked up to another machine to test the movement of the baby. There was not much movement showing on the machine. Told that the test would be a while, and given that the husband and wife had not had anything to eat since the night before, the husband went out to get Mexican food to eat. They both were sure that the baby would be delivered that day, especially since it was on the 18th. The husband brought back the food and even rearranged the furniture within the hospital room so he could eat next to his wife. The food was laid out like a fine Mexican buffet. The husband and wife proceeded to eat and made themselves at home. With all the furniture moved and all the food laid out, the nurse came in during the middle of the buffet to send the husband and wife home. The following day, the baby still did not move much. This was the case for several more days. Finally, on August 22nd, the wife started to have her steady contractions. This is it, she said to her husband. The contractions will not stop and he's not moving either. I still feel like something isn't right. The husband called the doctor on call. The doctor told the husband to wait another couple of hours. The husband relented that the baby was not moving, and so the doctor reluctantly agreed to have the wife come into the hospital. The husband and wife left the house or the hospital shortly after 10:30 p.m. They pulled into the parking lot and were surprised to see an old friend, Jeff, walking from the emergency room parking lot. The husband yelled, Jeff! And started to apply the brakes to the car as if he wanted to stop and chat with his old friend. The wife slugged her husband and said, are you serious? We're having a baby. Park the car or die. The husband parked the car and he and his wife made it to the emergency room. Their friend Jeff was sitting in the waiting room with his son with a concerned look on his face. The wife's husband reverted back to a 10-year-old boy and meekly said, now can I say hi to Jeff for a minute? The wife said, all right, but hurry up. As the husband and wife approached the emergency entrance, they came across another couple who needed to go to the emergency entrance. Pumped with adrenaline, the husband opened the door for the couple. But unfortunately, he did not hold the door open quite long enough as the door swung closed and hit his pregnant wife on the backside as they entered. Oh no, said the couple. Are you all right? Oh, she's tough, said the husband. She can take it. Unfortunately, the wife began to have a contraction, so she was unable to strike her husband. The wife was admitted to a room, but was informed that only at 3 centimeters dilated, she may have to go home. I'm sorry, this is so long, everyone. She was given a motion test for the baby, and the nurse noticed that the baby was not moving very much. Expressing some concern, she notified the doctor on call, who still did not want to induce labor. She wanted to send the husband and wife home. The wife pleaded with the nurse, stating that she had noticed that her baby was not moving for the past several days, but the doctor kept insisting that everything was fine. I have done this a long time, said the nurse. I've done this long enough to know that if the mother knows something is not right, then something is not right. I will do everything that I can to convince the doctor we need to get this baby out. A short while later, a woman arrived with a special ultrasound machine. Pictures were taken of the baby, and she assured the husband and wife that the pictures were perfect, like nothing was wrong. Minutes later, a team of nurses rushed into the room with an IV. The same nurse said, the ultrasound showed the umbilical cord is wrapped around your baby's neck 2 times around, so we need to induce you right now. Everything seemed to go from 0 to 60 in a split second. The wife was about to faint as usual, but even the inflammable husband was now in a state of panic. By this time, the wife's usual doctor was on duty and came in to talk to the couple. We're going to induce you now, and hopefully we can deliver naturally, and if it looks like we can't, we will have to do an emergency C-section. Everything went so fast. The wife was smart this time and told the staff that she definitely wanted pain medication early on. The delivery was incredibly fast, and with only a few pushes, the baby was born, and the doctor was able to unwrap the umbilical cord as the baby came out. He began to cry immediately, and the couple was relieved and overcome with joy. Bradley Tamaki Psyche was born on August 23rd, the day before his mother's birthday, at 2:14 p.m., weighing in at 6 pounds 7 ounces. He was born at 38 weeks, not premature. He did not come on the 8th of the month, or the 18th, or even the 28th, but he was born on the 8th month and the year 2008. There are many things to be learned from this story. The first is that doctors don't always know what they're talking about. The second is that you should always trust your gut instinct when it comes to your body. The last thing is that kids apparently hate Dr. Phil as much as adults do.